People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right, in this week's episode, it's just Natalie and I. We were supposed to have our financial advisor, friend of ours, on tonight, but his assistant's in the hospital. I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know what's going on, but I think that's putting a kink in his armor there, and he's getting behind in work duties. So it's just Natalie and I. And we had a bunch of stuff to talk about last time that we had our podcast, but we went on and on and on about Lex so much that I didn't even get a chance to talk about some of the other stuff. And we have some really exciting news about Penn Teller stuff I want to share with you guys. But first, let's talk about planning the boys' first birthday. That's only a month away.
Yep, a little over a month away. I'm excited. We got to start ordering this stuff. We're going to have a Cookie Monster themed party because they love Cookie Monster.
Cookie.
Every time he comes on the TV when they're watching Sesame Street, which is pretty much all they'll watch, they get real excited. Their heads both whip around and they look and they get big old smiles on their faces. That's what Lana used to do for Elmo. So we had a Elmo first birthday party for her. So we're going to do Cookie Monster for the boys. Make a Cookie Monster cake, make a number 1 cake, get all the Cookie Monster goodies. Lana told me, she said, well, if it's Cookie Monster, you have to have cookies. And I was like, okay, so we'll have cookies.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, why not?
So we're excited. A twin birthday. And then we're trying to get them outfits. They have really cute Cookie Monster My First Birthday outfits.
But you know what? I didn't think they'd fit because they don't start for 12 months. But I think they're going to shoot through these 6 to 9 month clothes we just got them. So I think they might fit. So you think we
can buy it now?
I think so.
When we were shopping, I was like, that's so daggone cute. But since they're twins, they run smaller. But maybe, I think they are catching up now.
I think it might be okay.
Let's do it. I want it.
If it's a little big, it'll be all right. But it's just such a cute outfit.
Are we doing that party here at the house?
Yes, we're doing it. We have a big enough place now. We can have parties here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to do it at the house. Because why not?
Lana's enjoying that one. Planning that, helping you plan that. Mm-hmm. But she's also planning her own party 2 months later in December.
3 months later in December.
3 months later in December.
Yeah. She always like, okay, she had lists for me for like a week straight of different things and who to invite and all this other stuff. So she is excited, and we're going to try and do her birthday party on her actual birthday, which is December 28th. And of course, it's in the middle of the week. But I've talked to a couple people, and they said they should be able to come. So I'm hoping that's for reals, and we don't plan this birthday party for the middle of the week and nobody shows up. That would be sad. But anyway,
we've done kids' birthday parties like that in the past, where it was one other kid and grandma, granddad, and mom and dad, and that's it, because all the other kids didn't show up. You remember that house we went to that had like a cake big enough for 30 people and they had one kid show up?
Aw, no, yeah. I guess not.
That was, but they had an awesome magician there, so how bad was it really? So what's Lana's plan for her party?
She wants a Trolls World Tour.
That's hard to say fast.
Yeah, I tried to figure it out. Trolls World Tour birthday party. And you remember the cake I did last year with the troll, Poppy, and what's his face? Branch.
I don't know their names, yeah.
Poppy and Branch. Put that on her cake.
She wants the same cake?
No. It was hard enough putting 2 trolls on the darn cake. Now she wants Poppy, Branch, and Barb on the cake. I'm
Good luck.
Oh, Lordy.
Good luck. I've never watched that thing, so I don't know.
You haven't watched it with her?
No.
I thought you probably fell asleep, I guess.
Anyway, all right, so another thing, after Lex's face was healing up and after his accident, we took him to get his first haircut. Lex and Julian.
Yeah.
How cute was that?
That was very cute. I didn't want to do the haircut. I would cut Wes's hair, but I was afraid. And I'll cut their hair when they're older. But they shake their heads and they move so much, and something happens and their head whips around and then all of a sudden they no longer have an ear. That's what I was afraid of. So we took him to somebody who has experience cutting little kids' hair.
It was a lady who used to cut my hair before you took over.
Yeah.
She really did a good job.
She did a great job.
But, I mean, I'm talking about not the haircut itself. I'm talking about with the babies.
Yeah. Well, like I said, she knows what she's doing.
She set them on Natalie's lap, so Natalie held them so they felt comfortable.
And they were facing me, yeah. They weren't facing away, they were facing me.
The funniest thing was, I don't know, babies puke. It happens. It's not that they're sick. They don't have COVID. They just had breast milk and they run around. They throw up.
And it was a really hot day.
And it's just a little blip, but it's gross and it's a mess. But I was taking pictures galore. Natalie's holding the baby, and Lana's playing with the other baby. Whoever's in the floor, she's playing with the other baby in the store. And Lana holds the baby up to give it a kiss, and bleh, it gets all over her shirt. So I have to put my camera down and I go take pictures. And Lana's like, "Oh man, my good outfit.
New shirt."
And then we switch kids, and Lana gets the other kid, and she's holding it and playing with it. And then all of a sudden, bleh, it gets her shirt and her pants.
Yep.
So Lana didn't enjoy that haircut experience too much.
No, she
had
did
stained
not.
clothes.
But yeah, she did a great job, and she was, I don't know, she was prepared for the head wiggling, which was nice.
So, another thing we had Hyatt Regency Resort. We booked them. And,
Yeah.
What? You're looking at me weird.
I know. I'm waiting for the rest of this.
Well, they don't know about this. This was
Okay.
our first time back after the pandemic situation.
Okay.
And all of the people that hired us are all gone.
No, there's one lady. It's really nice up front. She's still
She's
there.
concierge. She's not our boss, though.
Oh,
She's just
no,
a concierge lady.
But not everybody.
I'm talking about everybody that was part of management or whatever. They're all gone. The general manager went to California. The other manager quit. The activities manager.
Or they were furloughed and they had to go get a job while they were furloughed.
And they just quit.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody was new. So we go to get the new job, and I'm like, "Hey, my name's Wes. All right, so you used to pay me this. This is how you pay me. You pay me a credit card. You have to split up the credit card payments because you guys can't run that much on one card payment. I don't know. It's just a rule of your business. And here's the posters. Now what you do, you write down what room we're going to be in, Chelsea room A or B or whatever, and you hang them here, 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 and here. And then I'm going to do close-up magic. But I'm all over the place, so it's hard to find me. But if you need me, here's my cell phone number. But I'm going to be at the outdoor pool, the indoor pool. The other outdoor pool, I'm going to be in the basement, I'm going to be in the restaurant, and I'm going to be upstairs I'm going to be everywhere. And then when it's showtime, I need this big of a stage, and I need this many seats, and, all this stuff. Oh, thank you. But I feel weird telling my boss how to do his job.
Yeah.
But this guy was really appreciative of it. Like, you got any more tips? Tips? And really cool dude. And that night we go to get in the car, and it took us forever to load out. I don't know what was going on. It took us forever to load out. I know we had friends there we were talking to.
And it started pouring down rain, so I think we were just kind of taking our time to see if the rain would stop.
It took us forever to load out. And then I sat in the van in the trailer, and Natalie had to walk with Lana and the babies and Willow across the other parking lot, and she had to feed the boys.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the car twiddling my thumbs, and I check my email, and it says that my boss's boss, was at my show, and he came back to work that night and brought his son. His son was a teenager, and said, "Your show was fantastic. I just wanted to approve it or whatever," and they booked us for the rest of this year through 2022.
They booked us. Yeah.
So that's fantastic. That's awesome. They loved us. So that's a good feeling when the boss comes and you didn't know he was in the audience, sneaking like he's just a regular client person.
Yeah, he wants to see how good your show is, whether you're doing a good job when you don't think he's around.
Sneaky. And they have those two-way mirrors in the top, and I've seen them watch from that too, because they'll open it up and say something and then close the mirror back and watch.
I feel like that's cheating, though, because they can see down into what can they see. The angle's bad.
That's all right. I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
But anyway, so I'm just happy that I don't know. It feels good. It feels good to have somebody Hey, I sneakily, is that the word? I sneakily watched your show. It's not sneakily. I snuck into your show.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, but anyway, that was cool. We were supposed to get a phone call from Fool Us in July to let us know when we're going back to headline that show. Mm-hmm. And we waited and waited and waited. And Natalie's parents want to come with us. So they're trying to, her dad's a doctor, so he's trying to put it on the calendar when he needs to pencil off time to go. Because now we're thinking about renting an RV, or if we get an RV before then, we're going to RV across the country. Because with all the craziness and airplanes and everything, it'd just be easier.
And with 2 babies, it'd be easier.
It'll just be easier.
Yeah.
So, no phone call.
No?
No phone call. I did get an email from Penn Teller. Mm-hmm. And I marked it as, like, unread. Like, I was going to let Natalie look at it later. Because I was like, oh, that's Fool Us people. It's not really Penn Teller.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at it like 10 minutes later. I'm like, oh, that is Penn Teller. And Penn was just emailing to check on us and, said he has this event coming up for a health summit that he's asked to do a talk.
Yeah.
And he wants to do my trick in it and was asking permission. And I'm like, Penn, yeah, you get permission. He's like, well, you gave Penn and Teller permission to do your magic trick. You didn't give Penn Teller permission.
Right.
Dude, yes, I love you, man. Yeah, you can do my trick. So he said, well, if you don't mind, I'd like to go over a couple beats with you and throw some ideas at you and bounce some ideas back and forth. Can I give you a call sometime? I'm like, now? Give me 5 minutes, now. So I did a FaceTime call with Penn, and how excited was I over that?
You were like a little schoolboy. It was very, very cute. You were very excited. You're like, oh my goodness, Penn Teller's calling. Penn Teller's calling. And then you had your conversation, and then Penn Teller called. We had a conversation. We talked for an hour. It was so awesome. It was very cute.
Dude, I've grown up loving these guys. People have no idea. I'd be in my magic room at my old house as a 20-something, and I'd have magic videos playing in the background while I was doing whatever. Just always had something in the background, and Penn Teller and Teller. I mean, they've always been right there. It's just, it seems weird that now we're friends, but it gets better. It gets better. So they're doing my trick in their show now. Penn said he wanted to do the trick, and then he said, all right, I want to do it a couple times in the show. Do you mind? Yeah, Penn, work it out in the show. Yeah, you're doing good. And then they ended up putting it in their show, and then they're like, all right, we want to keep it in our show full time. Yes, Penn, you got it. And then, after all these phone calls back and forth with Penn, and then Penn calls me, or emails me, and says, the trick didn't go so well.
Yeah, I screwed it up.
And I'm like, all right, well, Penn, let me tell you, this is what you need. Oh, okay, yeah. Dude, you're a genius, thanks. And then he called me the next night. It went great. And then that was like Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, he does the Penn Gillette podcast, which is called Penn Sunday School podcast. Now, there is some language in this clip, but it's Penn Gillette. You get over it. You'll be all right. But I'm going to play this clip, and we are going to pause it and talk about it. So, you ready for this, Nat? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go.
We put a new bid in.
Oh, yes.
Wes Iseli.
Yeah.
Not of the Isley Brothers. Time.
Listener of this program, I believe.
Yeah. Wes Iseli, and I got to say this, in the entire 9 seasons of Fool Us,
Yeah.
my favorite trick.
Yes.
All right, now I heard that. We were doing a show, it was Sunday, we were doing a show in like Southwest Virginia. We had to get up at
We left the house around 6-ish.
And we got to bed around midnight or later. And by the time this thing aired, it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. And I was running on fumes. And when I get tired, I get emotional. Natalie's seen me cry over a country song that I've sang the words to 1,000,000 times. But when I'm tired, the lyrics got me. So when he said that this was his best trick or favorite trick in 9 seasons, Dude, I welled up a little. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
That's pretty awesome. Out of 9 seasons, that's the favorite.
I just keep thinking about all the
It's
people
great.
and all the amazing magic that's on that show, and
Right.
this is the one that they love so much. Anyway, let's go back.
My favorite trick. He came on, Wes Iseli. He tours with his family.
Yep.
He has twin, young sons, which I should have never said this, right? Because the fact that he has twin sons is going to be concealed very shortly in Wes Iseli's career. Don't you think?
I do.
One of those sons is not going to have a name. One of those sons will be traveling in a wig.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he'll say, here's my son. Now he's over there. Right? So, yeah.
So when I told Penn that, he was telling me all these other old-timey magicians that had twins, that it was a secret and they used it in their show. And when I first told him that I had identical twin boys, he was like, dude, do you know how lucky you are? A magician with twin boys?
Identical twin boys.
And then the part that he said, we're real. Well, he hasn't said it yet? Had he said it yet?
I don't think
He
so.
says in a second, I think, that we are real show business
business.
family on the road.
That
and-
made me happy. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Guys, I don't know. I lost my dad when I was 25. It's just something about coming from Penn. It feels like a big hug. It feels like a big pat on the back, hearing it from somebody I've looked up to my whole life, that we're a real show business family. It means the world to me.
His daughter, identical twin sons, and his wife, and he all travel around doing shows. I mean, this is real show business. Right?
Yeah.
And they're friends with my buddy Doc Swan.
Mm-hmm.
And he travels around doing shows, and he has this trick. Man, did I love it.
Yeah.
I went crazy over it. And the funny thing was, we first started talking afterwards, Teller said, this is an act made for you.
Yeah, it's the most
I said,
Penn.
it's the most Penn act that's ever been on. I just loved it.
He was on the same season as Yana Felicitas, who did the floating chair, which you said was the most Teller trick.
Right, exactly. He was so good. So, we can't do his routine. We could buy it from him or get it from him, because we can't do it on Full Us because it's already been done on Full Us.
Yeah.
And Full Us, by the way.
Yeah.
So I called them up, and I had this. I have this thing to do in San Diego called Life Itself. It's a conference, a health conference. Now, it's supposed to be at the end of this month. Okay. Now, Sanjay Gupta, you know Sanjay Gupta, and Fauci. What's Fauci's first name?
Anthony.
Tony. Anthony Fauci, Sanjay Gupta, are both Gupta.
Yep.
Gupta are both on the same bill with me. Because that's the trilogy you think of. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, you think, boom, rolls it off the tongue.
Seriously, I want to be.
Gupta, Fauci, Gillette.
I want to be in this meeting. That's how the lineup shaked out.
There are other people on it as well.
Okay.
There's a person, a woman. They told me this, right? They called me up, and I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. They want me to do like a half-hour speech. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. They said, we got some great stuff here. We got a person who's going to bring living human heart tissue on stage and make it beat. I said, and I'm going to follow that. That's your idea. That was your way of cheering me up during this call. Oh, you're going to follow someone that's going to create fucking life on stage. Jesus Christ. So I'm scared to death of doing this. Scared to death.
Yeah.
Scared to death. And I'm going, oh, Jesus. And he says, do a thing on, what did he say? What is the I forgot the term. It's the term when the fallacy when you follow things that agree with you.
Yeah.
Collaborate. You know it, ready? Anyway, he said, do a thing on that and how that works in magic. I said, you want me to design a new trick for this lecture? He said, that'd be good. See, I got roped into it, okay?
Yeah.
Because Ray Cronice, calls me like 2 years ago. Says, I want to do this conference in San Diego with Sanjay Gupta and Fauci, these guys. He didn't say Fauci then, because who gave a fuck about Fauci 2 years ago?
Right.
But whatever. And we're going to go on. It's going to be about diet and weight loss and lifestyle. It's called Life Itself. It's a great conference. And you just go on stage and I'll interview you for half an hour. It'd be really good for me. I said, okay. And he said, you go to San Diego. There's no money. You go to San Diego and I'll interview you and it'll be easy. Nothing to it. I said, okay, Ray, no problem. I owe Cray Ray perhaps my life. Okay, so I do that for him. So, then Cray Ray backs out.
What?
He just says he's not doing the conference. So they say, we still got you, right? And I go,
I was going to talk to Cray Ray.
And I said, okay, I'll still do it. So they put me in their advertising stuff.
Do you think they also asked Cray Ray to invent a magic trick, and maybe that's why he backed out?
Here's where it gets really terrible. So I say, sure, I can talk a half an hour about my weight. They said, weight loss has been talked about a lot.
Oh.
Confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias.
I said, your weight loss has been talked about a lot. I said, okay. They said, we'd like something at this conference that you haven't talked about before. I said, sea otters? They said, what do you know about...
Just confirm, Glenn, have I talked about sea otters anywhere else?
I said, something I haven't talked about? So you'd like me to come to San Diego and do something I can't do? Which is what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
I said I could talk about my diet.
What are they anticipating? Are they anticipating you saying, oh, cool, I've been dying to talk about blank, and I haven't been able to find the right spot for it?
Sea otters.
That's what I mean.
So they said, we think you could do a lecture about confirmation bias in magic. I said, good. What would I say?
Go on.
This is your idea. This is your idea for my idea.
Word tune, longer.
Sea otter, longer. Word tune, sea otter, longer. Attractive little sea otters, longer. Cut, paste, longer. Cut, paste. You know, it's really hard to get down to just a half an hour what I think about confirmation bias and sea otters. When I looked at the time and I said, whoa, a half an hour, I was thinking I got so much to say about confirmation bias and sea otters. I don't know how I'll cut it down to a half an hour. I have no idea how I'm going to do that. So I was sitting thinking, I was home, I live in Vegas, and I was home in Vegas thinking, how am I going to cut this? Because I could talk easily for 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 hours. But 30 minutes, that's going to be tough. Okay, that's going to be. He said, I was thinking about a trick for confirmation bias. And I said, good, do it. I'd like to see that. I'll come and watch. Or better yet, send me a video. I'll stay home.
Ray and I can watch it together.
Yeah. I said, oh, geez, I don't know. And he said, well, there's going to be someone on that's going to make a human heart beat. I said, I can't follow that with confirmation bias. Oh, I know. I don't think I can do this. You say human heart on stage, that confirms that I can't do it. That's about confirmation bias. Say Penn got his bias against being not qualified to do this. He got it confirmed. He's not here. That's his magic trick. Then they told me, make a video about how excited you are to be here. I said, well, I'm not.
You've asked me now to create 2 tricks.
Yeah, I'm trying to weasel out of this. So then I see delta variation. I go, yes, thank you, God.
This is going to cancel it.
Do you think that Fauci is going to show up? When Tucker Carlson's going to say, oh, Fauci's on stage in San Diego.
Yeah.
He's not going to.
No.
He wants the rest of us to stay home, but he's trying to get chips in,
Yeah, all that
That
stuff.
was my Tucker Carlson.
It was really good.
Yeah. I met Tucker Carlson. I did a show a couple times, like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Really nice, smart guy.
Uh-oh.
What the fuck happened?
I have no idea.
How does that go bad?
I mean, I really, it's, I don't understand, when you see someone blatantly make a move, it used to, not work.
Yeah.
But now it works.
Yeah. That's because we do this new thing where, yeah, he's a scumbag, but he's our scumbag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Trump lost the election. He's like, oh, I can jack this up.
I can make a buck.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so I go, oh, God, this is a solo thing? Half an hour? Invent a trick? I said, well, if I need to invent a trick, I'll call Wes Iseli. Because he's got a good trick that I can say I invented. So I call up Wes and I say, listen, we're not going to do your trick on TV. That would be wrong.
Yeah.
But there'll be clips of it here and there. But anyway. But I would like to do your trick for this thing with Fauci. They're going to put a human heart on stage and bring it to life, and I thought I'd follow that with flipping a coin.
Yeah, I guess we should say the trick, right?
Yeah, it's a trick where he flips a coin, people stand up in the audience.
Yeah.
It's a great trick. My favorite trick on Fool Us.
Yeah.
So I call up Wes. Wes is, super crazy nice guy.
Yeah.
Crazy nice guy. Ridiculously nice. A little bit disconcertingly nice. So sweet, so kind.
Yeah.
And also so hardworking and just, he said, I talked to him. I called him and talked to him for like 5 minutes. Talked to him for like over an hour.
Yeah.
It's fabulous. And I thought other people know him, Doc, and this person, Rachel, that I know.
Really?
Come on. He's saying that I'm so over the top nice. It's because I keep saying, yes, Penn, I've given you permission. You can do my trick. Yes, do it. Yes. 1,000 times yes. I love you guys. Yes, do my trick. And he's saying I'm
Can't get a no out of you.
yeah, well, I love you guys. What else do you want? Yeah, pound of flesh. Let me work on it. Let me work on it.
Oh,
Whatever
my
I can do
goodness.
for you. I love you guys. You guys don't understand how much I love magic. So yeah, anything you want. But having him saying that I'm hardworking and I'm awesome, and he calls to talk to me for 5 minutes and stays on for an hour. Man, we had a good time. We were laughing, and it wasn't like it wasn't just like a business phone call. We talked like as peers. It was so daggone cool. I loved it. Here it is. Here's more.
People in his height, mostly?
Yeah, most of those people was like, and we had a great time talking. I just love this guy.
Yeah.
So I said, can I do that? Oh, yeah, I'd be flattered. That'd be great. I'd love that. Good. So then I said to him, can I slide it in? I want to warm it up before I do it in San Diego. Can I do it a few times in the Penn Teller show? Oh, sure, I'd love that. And then I talked to Teller, said, I'd like to put this in the show. And then Teller, who was the opposite of me, when we bring out a bit, I usually say, this could be a solo Teller bit, couldn't it? When I bring up, this could be a solo Penn bit, Teller goes, I could do something in this. So then it's a two-man bit. And Teller and I start thinking it out, the Wes Iseli bit.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So I call Wes Iseli, write him an email. Hey, man, we're talking about doing this as a Penn and Teller trick. Oh, I love that. You can't get a no from him. Talk about confirmation bias. He's the flip side of it. He confirms your bias, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So we just love him. So we work on this trick. We have a new person in our crew that's just come in, named Erin. Okay, so she, during the interview process, we said, we put stuff in the show, not half-assed, but kind of quarter-assed. She said, okay, I'm ready for that. So she's at the rehearsal when Teller and I are working on this Wes Iseli trick we're going to do that night.
Yeah.
We do one run-through where it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And I go, okay, we ready for tonight? And Erin comes over and goes, remember during our interview, you said you put stuff into the show quarter-assed?
Yeah.
I said, yes. She said, you don't think it's quarter-assed? She said, I think it's about 50%-assed. I said, okay. So I went out that night. I was shaking. I was terrified.
Yeah.
Because I had not properly prepared. But my thinking is I would rather take the 45 minutes of nauseating fear than take the 45 minutes of work to make it better. Just a choice I make in my life.
Yeah.
Right? Just a choice. So we were talking, and we talked.
That is a joke. Penn and Teller are so original, so creative. I really don't think that he just went out there cold just to... I don't think they work on new material like that. That is a joke for the podcast. I got way too much respect for those guys. that, he may have been nervous about it, and he may have thought it was an easy trick and took this out, but I don't think they do every trick like that. Please don't take that to thinking that that's how they invent new things on stage. I love them too much. I don't like that line. I love them.
What if it is true?
I don't think so. No, because
he told the new person they do things quarter-assed.
no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Okay.
Erase what you just heard. I don't believe it.
About covers. What's the worst thing that could happen? What's the worst thing that could happen? What's the worst thing that could happen? Went out that night, started doing the trick. Holy fuck. Wes Iseli's a genius. Yeah. Such a good trick. I mean, we started it going, and you could tell this is a really, really good trick. Yeah. And the audience is loving it. And and because in the time of cholera, people can't you can't bring people up on stage. Everybody's standing up in the audience. They're involved. You could feel the whole show jacking up. It was great. And then I fucked it up. I mean, really fucked it up.
You rode that wave.
I mean, there wasn't a trick.
That's you have the best quote about magic going wrong of anyone I know.
What's that?
You said on this show, whatever, many years ago, you just said man, when you do a magic trick and it just goes wrong, boy, have you wasted everyone's time.
Exactly. Boy, do we waste everyone's time. So there's 5 people standing up in the audience. We've been building up for 7 minutes. Yeah. And I just go, you can all sit down now.
So sad.
We'll do something else. And let me tell you, Wes Iseli's trick is so good that the vibe, or the earlier part, before the trick worked, before the trick failed, the build, still propelled us to the rest of the show, and they loved it. Standing ovation at the end. Standing ovation at the end, you know why? Yeah. We taught them how to stand up in their seats. I remember that. We did that trick. Remember the trick didn't work? We did this. Oh, yeah, now we're applauding.
We'll do it again.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
So they're telling me they're going to get me a video of them performing that. But I am so glad they didn't invite me to see that first time or whatever.
You would have been sad.
I would have been sick. It would have been a gut punch and a half to see them.
When you know how to get them out of it.
I know how to get out of it, but also I told them how to get out of it, but also just because I look up to them so much, and to see them do that. We've been to a Vegas show. I'm not going to say the person's name. I'm not going to say the person's name, but they were doing a mystery box where they remember that?
Yes, I remember it perfectly.
They played it up, and they were like, all right, hanging from the ceiling's a mystery box. Inside is an envelope. What color is your hair? You going on a mystery cruise? Where would you like to go? How much money do you have with you? Whatever. And then they make this big production to lower the box from the stage onto a table. And then they go to open up the box, and the key breaks off in the lock. He fiddled with it.
That's it.
Next trick.
Mm-hmm.
But that was 6 minutes. And man, I was gut punched then, and that wasn't even...
Still don't know what was in the mystery box.
That wasn't... I know exactly what was in the mystery box, and I guarantee everything matched perfectly because I know that trick. But he can't get to it. His key broke in the lock.
Yeah.
Why are you locking that box anyway? It's hanging 50 feet in the ceiling. Nobody can get to it.
But that just goes to show you. I mean, everybody wants to put people that are in show business up on pedestals, but they're just people too. And you make mistakes, and you go through it, and you just go through it. And
they are 100%, and I'm definitely putting them on pedestals. I mean, they're just people. They're cool people. They're
awesome.
They're the bad boys of magic,
and they are amazing magicians. But even they mess up, and
And one of their other podcasts, I think it was the podcast right after this, they were talking about what was it? It's not confirmation bias. I got that in my head now. But they were talking about like a fraud syndrome. Like, I'm master magician. But really, it's just me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like an imposter complex or something.
You're talking yourself up. But, I mean, you're talking yourself up real big so you can get hired and you sound good.
And back it up.
People want the best.
Yeah. But, I mean, even they said, stuff happens. But I'm just glad I wasn't there that night. Golly.
So then we came backstage, and I said to Aaron and to Bert, I said, Remember I said during rehearsal this afternoon, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Well, we saw it.
We found out.
Yeah. And I said, remember all those covers we came up with? I said, we didn't have any cover for this. It was just me fucking up. We had covers for like the audience member doing something that we didn't.
Yeah.
We had covers for that. We didn't have covers for actual incompetence on the part of the performer. There are no covers for that. You know,
I guess like the ultimate one is like to go through all the rounds. Like, okay, you get it. Let's start over. Everybody up in your face.
Yeah, it's kind of like Mick Jagger does 3 verses of the song.
Yeah.
He turns to Keith Richards. Keith Richards goes, I can't play this. I don't know how. I don't know how to play this.
Yeah.
Well, the rhythm section's going. They're ready for a lead guitar. I don't know how to play it. I didn't do the work I was supposed to do. I don't know how to play it. Okay, then. Satisfaction. That's what we did.
Yeah.
So then last night we went out. And I wasn't scared. And I'd also written an email to Wes. And he told me, oh, yeah.
That happens.
That happened to you. It didn't ever happen to me because I do this. And I went, oh, you do that. Oh, yeah. That was the thing that he said, yeah, that I told you about in an email 3 weeks ago. I went, yeah. He said, this is the biggest thing to worry about. And I said, yeah. And he said, I told you what to do. And I said, yeah. And he said, you didn't do it. And I said, yeah. So we went out last night.
Yeah.
I mean, I stumbled through the trick. Stumbled through it. Teller stumbled through the trick. One of the best things you've ever done.
Really?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
So this trick is going to last past the medical conference.
Shut up. I'm going to write an email to Wes in a while and go, we're doing it more often. I'm thinking that maybe in 5 years, Fauci's going to call again, and we'd like to be ready, so we're going to do this trick every fucking night, every place we play.
I mean, I don't have to keep mentioning you have twin children if you don't mind this.
Yeah, sure is a nice family you have. Be a shame if something happened to them. Your trick is all about luck, and it'd be really bad if I had the bad luck of not being able to do it, and you had bad luck with your nice little family. Wouldn't it, Wes?
That's one of my favorite parts. Being threatened, tongue-in-cheek by Penn. I love it. But them saying that they love the trick so much and it kills, and it's...
Yeah, well, and he knows if he calls you and says, hey, can I keep this in my show forever? You'd say, absolutely, not a problem.
What else you need? You need anything else? Can I do anything else for you, sir? Yeah. Anyway, here we go. 2 more minutes.
It's such a good trick. I mean, you knew when you saw it.
Yeah, I mean, when it was happening, I also thought it was one of the most Penn tricks I've seen on the show.
Let me tell you something. Last night, there were 1,000 goddamn Penns in the audience because they thought it was a pretty fucking good trick.
No, it's great. It's great because it doesn't seem like a magic trick. That's all it is.
No, and it just felt so good. And Wes is so kind.
Yeah,
he's just so sweet. And I don't think we're hurting him at all because we're doing it live. And I think that when you go to see him, we say every show it's Wes Iseli's trick.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So I don't think there's any. What I'm saying is, with all joking aside, I sincerely don't think it's causing him damage. If he had not done it on TV and we were doing it on TV before him, then I would say we shouldn't do that. But I think the way this is set up,
I hope he's leaning into it. I mean,
he is.
Yeah, I mean, like what I mean to say is,
he told me he said in his show, Penn Teller doing this trick now.
And that's very uncommon.
Yeah.
You guys, I don't think you've done another... Is there another foolish trick that you've done?
No. 9 seasons, we haven't ever said that's a trick we want to do.
Yeah.
And this is a trick we want to do really badly. We'll be talking more. We got more stuff to talk about.
Really badly. This is a trick we want to do really badly. He kind of says that under his breath, but... Yes, you can do it. Yes. Wow, I love it. And there's still a couple more seconds of this. And he references the rest of the podcast and then says something about me again. So hold on one second.
Now, that was Penn Sunday School.
That was Penn Sunday School.
Cha-cha-cha.
And to our listening,
You become naked.
all nature sang and round us went the music of the streets.
I really hope that's the real Eddie Spaghetti. Man, Eddie Spaghetti is so good. Super Suckers are a great band. You should listen to them.
Plays bass.
He does play bass. Yeah, I thought so. I was afraid to say that because I so wished it was true. But he does play bass. And a really nutty bass tone. He's great. I want to do a show. It's just Wes Iseli and the Super Suckers. Wouldn't that be a good show?
Yes.
I produced that. You know, we love you.
I have no idea who Super Suckers is or Eddie Spaghetti, but I'm game. You produced that, Penn. I'm there, man. So they sent us a thank you package in the mail that was above and beyond. Mm-hmm. And they're both saying how much they love it. Now, he goes on and on and on in that thing saying that how much he loves it. And it's a very Penn trick. And
Right.
it's Penn's favorite trick of...
But Penn can't do it by himself. Teller wants to be a part of that too, which I think is awesome. It can be a Penn trick. I can have something to do in that trick. I think that's great. I think it goes to show you how much Teller likes it as well.
And if you see my clip, Teller's miming it. No, I love it too. I love it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the night I won that award, they both ran backstage and was telling me how great it was, and Teller was saying, no, really, I love it too. And Penn's like, shut up, Teller. Now listen, I've been working on something like this for 15 years. And it's like, man, I wish I had a camera back there behind that curtain right when they came and hugged me again behind the curtain and was congratulating me. I don't know how long it was. Was it 30 seconds? Was it 10 seconds? I don't even know. Was it a minute and a half? Everything was such a blur. But I was like, you guys can do it. I'll give you permission. You can do that trick if you like it so much. And then they had to run out and do another person that night. But, so over and over and over, this is a very Penn trick. Well, that night it was 1,000 Penns in the audience because they all loved it.
Right.
But Teller does love the trick.
Yes, he does.
And when they gave us a thank you package, I emailed the manager, I emailed Penn and Teller and thanked them all. And Teller emailed me. Well, Penn... So that morning, we got the thank you package. I emailed Penn and thanked him because that's the only email I had. I thanked the manager and I thanked Penn.
Right.
And that was it. He replied to me and says, you're welcome at, it was like 1 in the afternoon here, which would be 10 there. We go out and go shopping. The boys needed some new outfits. So we were going shopping. We were using that day to go shopping because we were gone that weekend. So. And by the time we got to the shopping center, I pick up my phone and look at it, and Teller emailed me, and it just says, Teller. That was it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy, what the heck? And he was like, hey, you're welcome for everything. Thank you for, he said, thank you for letting us use this beautiful magic trick.
We're having a blast performing it.
We're having a blast performing it.
Yeah, and?
And, by the way, would you like to be on our holiday card list?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
And
Well, I'm going to get to your part.
no, and he said you got to keep in touch.
Oh,
So
yeah.
here's, you have my email, here's my mailing address, and here's, let's just go ahead and do phone numbers too. And he gave us both his phone numbers.
His landline and his cell phone. It was so, but all right, so we're fans of Penn and Teller, if you guys can't tell. Yes, they're regular people, they're regular Joes, but I'm still that 7-year-old kid in my parents' basement watching them on TV in my heart. I'm still that kid. We dissect these emails, and when I send them something back, I don't just send them something back. I have my wife look over it. Does this sound okay? Does this sound... Because text messages, you guys have all had a text message where it doesn't come off right. Or if the person reads it wrong, I'd rather talk to somebody than do a text message or an email. But I know they're busy and all this stuff. So I'm getting Natalie to double check it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm really thinking what I'm sending back. But we're also looking at theirs and reading it over and over and over, because every time I get an email from them, I'm excited. And Teller signed his Love Teller.
Yep.
And Natalie's like, look, Love Teller.
Love
So when I
Teller.
reply back,
I love
you
it.
should say love. And I'm like, I don't don't need to do that. I don't know.
You got weird about
I
it.
don't
Whatever.
know.
If it had been an email from me, I would have written love.
I love you guys. Penn Teller, if you're listening to this, I absolutely love you guys, but I don't. That might have been a typo in your end. I don't know. you might have just wrote a letter to somebody and you said love, and then wrote a letter to somebody else and said love. Then you wrote an email to Wes Iseli and accidentally signed it the way you normally sign it.
I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway,
I thought it was sweet. I liked
so
it.
of course we want to be on his
It
holiday
gave
card.
me the warm fuzzies.
Dude, I got teary eyed. I told another friend of mine, wearing your heart on your sleeve. Mine's oozing down my elbow. Mine's.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. Wearing my heart on my sleeve. I don't even have to be tired. If Teller emails me, I get all excited. I want to tell everybody, Teller, email me. Teller, email me. My little girl's creeping down the steps right now during a podcast, and every time I'd start getting giddy like a little schoolboy. She said, "What? Did Penn text you? Did Teller text you?" Oh, she rolls her eyes and laughs at me. But daggone it means the world to me. But so we started sending. We gave him our email. We gave him our address, and then I gave him my phone number.
And then
Natalie says, "Well, we don't have a landline. Maybe he should have my number for a second number."
Yep. He needs my number. You know? He needs my number too. You know, if he ever has to call you and can't get in touch, he can call me.
So
And
Natalie,
then I can have a conversation with Teller and then pass the phone.
so I always get
Totally
Natalie
fine.
to spell check my texts and emails anyway. So I gave the phone to her. I said, "Give him my address, give him my phone number." And she's like, "Well, I'm going to go ahead and give him my phone number too." And I'm like, "Whatever, Natalie, whatever." But if we ever get divorced, Natalie,
They're
these
mine.
These are my
They're
friends.
mine.
And I told her,
No.
I told her that night, like I had my phone in my lap. We were driving home, and it fell into the floorboard. And I said, "Great! I just got Penn and Teller's address and phone numbers. Now I broke my phone." She says, "That's why you need to merge your contacts with me, so I have them in my phone as well."
Absolutely. Damn it, I don't want to be left out.
You're not left out, baby. You're not left
I don't want
out.
to be left out. I want to have them as my friend too.
But
Darn it.
I'm waiting on this video from the show. If you guys want to see that clip, I uploaded it on my YouTube, and it's titled Penn and Teller added Flip to their show, and they're super excited about it. I was going to put it as like a hidden link, but then I shared it so much. I'm like, this isn't even hidden anymore. Why? And this is just the snippet of their podcast that he talks about me, 19 minutes and 40 seconds. But it's an hour-long podcast. It happens every week. And if you want to hear this episode, it's episode 732. Now, there was another episode when my episode first came out in July of last year. I was worried because when you buy a magic trick, or you buy anything, if you buy a new car, wait 6 months. Wait a year to start reviewing that car. And your warm fuzzies are gone. The new car smell is gone. Everything's gone. But man, they went crazy. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this clip here. This was the first time he went on his podcast. This is episode, I don't even know. Hopefully it's in the description. But it's Penn Sunday School episode. It's loading. Episode 620.
The guy who's up next is the guy who reads your mail.
This may have been my favorite act the whole season.
Yeah, he was.
Now, back then, he says it's his favorite act the whole season. Quite possibly. He emailed me and said that was his favorite act that season. And now he's saying it's his favorite of all 9 seasons. Mm-hmm. It just keeps getting better. But this is Penn Sunday School about my full loss appearance. And that is taken from episode 620.
He's like, "I'm listening today, just so you know." And I was like, "I don't think you need to worry about anything we're going to say. Even though it's kind of unfair, Wes Iseli, you can't message me before we talk about you. You gotta wait till after."
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
That's where the clip for the opening comes from, right there. You telling me I wasn't jumping up and down about that? Now that we've done one FaceTime call that lasts an hour, and about 50 different emails back and forth.
He's your new best friend.
We go to friend's house for dinner, and I'm biting my lip. I'm just waiting. Wes, you're awful quiet over there. Hey, Penn called me. I'm just waiting to tell somebody. But I'm on cloud nine. It's pretty daggone awesome. And the way they're doing the trick in the show is, I haven't seen it, but what I've heard is Teller is flipping the coin, but his back is to the audience, and they're having the whole audience stand up and get eliminated. And that Penn is playing the odds. So if there's 3 tails in a row, he says, all right, we're in Vegas. Most people put their money on heads. But technically speaking, it's still 50-50. So how are you guys going to go? Heads or tails? And then do it again. All right, well, now are we on a head streak or are we on a tail streak? I think it's something like that. I don't know. But also in our hour-long talk, we were talking about my friend Doc Swan, who is an awesome sideshow performer, and talking about different things. And we were talking about an old vaudeville act. And Penn said, yeah, I've been working on that, or it's been on the back burner for like 40 years. Teller and I have been thinking about it. And I laughed. And I said, yeah, what would Penn and Teller do with that? And I got off the phone and my brain is just swirling. I was just on the phone with Penn for an hour. Wow. And I'm thinking about that whole conversation. And then it just hit me. And I scripted out an entire act for them to do with that vaudeville trick. And I sent it to Penn and I said, who am I to pitch something to you guys? But I did it anyway. Here it is. Take it or leave it. And he went back and said he loved it. And he sent it to Teller, and Teller loved it too. So hopefully that is going to be a skit for Fool Us. See, every year in Fool Us, they have to come up with 13 new bits for their television show. And that's a hard thing to do. Come up with 13 brand new tricks each season. Mm-hmm. That's real hard.
Right.
So
and unique. You can't have, 2 tricks that are different but look fairly similar.
Yeah,
because
do a $5 bill or a $50 bill to a lemon, and then do a $50 bill to a watermelon. That's the same trick.
No, I'm saying even a card trick that has different outcomes but looks similar. Layman will think it's the same trick. Well, he just repeated that when it's different.
Right. Well, and then even if people watching
if they're a couple seasons apart.
People watching on YouTube, you can't tell which season's which, except for the pandemic season. All the seasons look the same on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true.
Except season 1 that was filmed in Europe.
Yeah.
But if you can't tell, we're on cloud nine. We are just so thankful, so grateful. It feels like a dream. Like I said, I've grown up watching these people. How many times have I sat you down to watch a Penn and Teller anything? A Penn and Teller trick, a Penn and Teller bio, before meeting them?
A lot.
A lot,
We watched a lot of Penn and Teller
I wanted you up to date on everything magic.
We watched the Penn and Teller get killed. We watched all sorts of stuff. We specifically made sure we watched the whole season of Apprentice that Penn was on.
Dude, I rooted for Penn so hard when he was on The Apprentice. I rooted for him so hard. That made me... I liked The Apprentice show. I liked it just because I have a marketing background, and it was loosely kind of marketing and different things. But it's not like you could learn anything from that show to apply to your job. Nothing like that. But I enjoyed that show. And when Penn was on it, I enjoyed it 20 times more. So, as if I haven't said it, I love Penn and Teller. I absolutely do. Thank you guys so much for listening to us rant today. But I'm excited. If you live next to me or you're a family member of mine, you've already heard me say the thing about, hey, Penn called me. I did FaceTime with Penn. I got another email from Penn. Hey, guess what? Teller emailed me. All my friends, family, neighbors, they've all heard it 50 times. And now
you're excited.
And
I think they're all excited for you as well.
Yeah, well, I hope I'm not bugging people, but daggone it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Last episode was pretty much a whole hour about Lex getting his ambulance ride, and this one ended up being mostly...
about you.
Well, about Penn and Teller and me. Yeah, I was Asparagus Valley Cultural Society was the original name of the Penn and Teller trio. And I'm thinking Penn, Teller, and Wes has a good ring to it. I'm just putting that out there. Anyway,
Wait, where am I? What about me?
you're the lovely assistant.
You're always forgetting me.
You're in the gorilla suit. And the boys can be backstage crew, and then they can make Lex and Julie and do magic
I'm
tricks.
sorry, but I'm a bigger part of your act than just being a byline there, honey.
That's why I married you. I'm short, you're tall. We're like Penn and Teller.
I have to
I
pay for
talk
my
a
name
lot.
to be on stuff to begin with.
I talk a lot, and you don't talk hardly at all on stage. See, we're just like Penn and Teller.
Yeah, well, who can get a word in edgewise?
Anyway,
If we didn't hear the story about how Teller became silent, that would be why.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Next week we'll have another guest on, hopefully, and if not, we'll fill another hour. We got plenty of stories for you guys. We are so happy to announce our new show merchandise is now available at wesisley.com. That's logo t-shirts, my TV podcast t-shirts, Magic Man hats, stickers, playing cards, and more. Check it out at wesisley.com. And Season 2 of Wes Isley's Magiclife is over, but you can still binge all of Season 1 and 2 on Jewel TV. Jewel TV is on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Jewel TV app, and tons of other places. It's in over 100 million households. All you have to do is look for it. See you next week. Today's episode of the podcast is sponsored by Express Copy and Graphics. Mention promo code Wes Iseli to get 10% off. Their website is expresscopy.com. That's XPRESS-COPY.com. They do it all. Copies, banners, signs, vehicle wraps, promo items, practically anything you need printed, they can do it for you. These guys are great. Check them out. Check us out online at wesisley.com and patreon.com/Wes_Isley for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled WESISELI.